Hello friends of the Blue and welcome to my channel, and also welcome to the first ever welcome to the first ever Royal Retinue review. This is a new stream where I will be reviewing minis sent out by my Patreon channel members, starting from the Menatams and upwards tiers. So if you are one and you haven't sent one for this month, please do for the next one. And if you want your mini reviewed, but you can't support or don't want to, which I also respect, you can check the PMP Facebook group. PMP is the Painter Motivating Painters Facebook group. There you can submit one mini, one a month, and Vince Venturella, the one and only Vince Venturella, will review that mini for you for free in his channel. But here I want to do a more focused reviews, not just like the basic quick stuff that he must do, of course, because there are a lot of people there. I want to go more in depth, and that means that I can that this will also be for my Patreon channel members, again, Menatams and above. And that is why my stream is called a Royal Retinue Review. Only my Royal Retinue will get reviewed. So you can join you can join my Patreon, or you can join my channel members, wherever you want, and I will be reviewing your minis once a month for all of you. So we are going to start with the first one of the year. This will be the mini submitted in January by my members, and please, I love you all, but I'm not sure I will be able to watch all your comments, so please don't get offended if I don't mention you or if I don't read you. I will be reviewing the minis, so of course that means no time to read the chat. So hello all, and I think we can start now. Okay. There you go. Okay. Please excuse my being a bit weird with this. This is the first time. So we are going to start with this mini. This is being submitted by Aegis for my Discord and Patreon, and this is a Primaris pointy guy, awesome mini, and he is starting to do some very awesome and cool effects. Mainly, you can see the whole very cool NMM vibe that he has going on. He even has some really cool secondary reflections from the earth there, which is amazing, and here there, super awesome. That really helps impart a sense of ambient, of the atmosphere that he's in, and I really like that. And he's also doing some very cool orbital highlights there on the knee pad and here too, which are really awesome and really well done. The only things that I really like that very much is, I know this is a big push for him, and I really love that sketchy feel of the highlights. By the way, this let me just clear this out. Whoa. Yeah, I messed that up. Okay, that is it. These highlights here, these shadows just before the highlight, that's a really great touch. I really like that. I think that's awesome. I really like again, oh yeah, all these highlights here. You can see that he has done what I usually do with 4 sources of light. So you have your main highlight here and your secondary highlight down there, which has this awesome red color for the base, the briny red color, which is really awesome. let's just go let's just go zoom in, which is not pleasant for anyone, but I think we need to see what can get better. So of course, we can see here a really small model line. Sorry, but it's there. So you have to be very careful with that. And if you see it while you are painting, you can just scrape it off and just paint over it. Don't be afraid. But yeah, that's the main issue that just jumps out for me, is that mold line there. Also, I kind of feel the paint is a bit too thick. I understand that with this sketchy style, you don't want the paint to be too thin, but it kind of feels like it's a bit rough in these places here. So try thinning your paint down a bit more, maybe. So that, I think that will really help you. Even if you have to do a couple more passes on your sketches, I think that can be a very good detail. Also, yeah, he was pointing out that his black, which is here, and his armor, the main color of the gray armor, both have cold tones, and it's true. Kind of the black has a sense that it's lost a bit there. So I really think, well, I do think we have already solved this, because he being one of my patrons, he has seen this Wex video, which is black NMM, and I use some warm colors to highlight my black there, and I think he's using that now for the next batches, and I think it's a good idea. So yeah, using warm colors to highlight the black instead of cold, I think it's for sure the way to go, because you could go neutral, but the armor is quite neutral. It's cold, but it has neutral tones in it. I think you go for a browns, starting with something like Escape and Blight Lynch, and then you can start adding grays, or you can go into the Stormbearing Fur and then start adding grays, and that will be a really good touch for the gray, I do think. So let me see, what more can we see here that is worth. Yeah, the lens here, there are two, you can see clearly the steps between the colors, so there and there, and I think you can mix some in-between color here and just dot it around there, and that enough will be enough to make that look much better. The face overall, apart from the roughness of the paint, is really good. He has added, as you can see here, some red tones to his lips and to his cheek, which is awesome. You can also add more to the nose. Don't be afraid of that. And you can even add some blues and greens to this whole area to make a beard effect, like not as shaven. That can also be a very good touch. But apart from that, I really like it. Maybe what I'm missing is one dark line here. I don't know if you can see that. The eye is awesome. He has made the black pupil and the white dot reflection, which is amazing. But I kind of feeling that it could benefit from a line there, just a bit more darker, not black of course, but kind of the same dark brown that is on the upper side. I think that would be a good touch. But overall, really cool reflective effect on his armor. Again, doing all the right things, adding secondary reflections, introducing the ambient colors into the armor. Awesome job. When he showed this to me on the Patreon Discord, I was really impressed. This is an awesome job. Let me see if we can see another view. Okay, so we have jumped into another person. Why is doing this? Sorry guys. Okay, there you go. Let me see if I can. Let me see if you can all see that. Okay, is everyone seeing everything right? Yeah, I think we are all right. So, yeah, we're going to see here. Yeah, the same colors used over here. Awesome. They're very subtle. Even here, awesome job. And we move into this side, and again, doing all the right things. Very cool freehand design, quite clean actually. You could the two white lines don't meet in the middle, but that's not really that important. And again, I'm afraid we have a mold line there, which is a bit of a shame, but overall, really good job. I really like this marines. This kind of sketchy style reminds me of the work of people like he's called. There's a couple of Spanish painters that do this kind of sketchy style, which I think is awesome, and I think it's really cool. So let's move into the next one. This is submitted by Carlos. Carlos is it's coming back to the hobby after a very long time, so he's quite new here, and we have to take that in mind, of course. So first of all, really cool color scheme, really brave to paint such bright whites and yellows, being new or being a returning person to the hobby. This is like really bold thing to try and do. So brave painting bravely is something awesome. It's something that I really encourage people to do, and I think he's doing he's taking painting without any fears. And I think this overall scheme looks really good. I think for a tabletop mini, it's perfectly awesome and really good effect. But especially for someone that is quite new, a couple of things that I can see. First of all, the white layer is maybe not uniform. I can see kind of different inconsistencies. For example, here and several parts more. I think when you did the wash here over there, when you did the wash, you went over with the white, but you should do more layers if you're going to do white. Also, kind of you use like a very light gray, and that is the good thing to do. But maybe do more passes and don't be afraid to thin your paint and do 3 or 4 passes. But again, starting with white is really hard and it's really difficult. The eye lenses here, they are awesome. I really like those. I feel the yellow needs a bit more highlights, so try to add something like a dawn yellow kind of color. Ice yellow from Vallejo also works really well. He said that he wasn't sure how to paint this kind of laser things. My main problem is the black is up here, but the dot is here. So if you're going to paint the black, the white dot should be there, and this highlight in the back should go like that. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that's what I would do. And again, of course, being a new painter, you did an awesome job, especially with such hard colors, but trying to work in your cleanliness and try to work cleaner is the next step. So thinning your paints more and working on your brush precision. So try to works a bit more slowly. Also, I know doing black and then white is really hard, so I think you really did a good job. Also, that pose is just epic. That is an epic pose there. Awesome. I really like that. He's also painting all his Tau infantry there, and they are looking quite good actually. So yeah, again, as I was speaking, the yellow here, you can see the color is not as solid and kind of detracts a bit. So if that is intentional, you really need to push the highlights a bit more on the edges. Try to be a bit bolder with a lighter yellow. Don't be afraid. If you are doing dry brush, which I can kind of see here, dry brush, try to use another lighter step and just do a very fine dry brush, focusing just on the top edges. That will help you a lot. Yeah, I can see what his problem is here. So these laser lights are not round, and he's having problems with it. The white is placed well, so this is well placed, but this highlight here should be like this. It should go in an L shape, and that will solve all your problems. But again, of course, you now your main objective should be working on cleanliness and working on try to be neater and try to be smoother overall. But again, for someone that is starting again after such a long time, you're doing a great job, especially with such hard colors, because we have to remember that yellow and white are really hard to paint, especially for a new painter. So that is awesome. Again, here, awesome pose. I really like this base. This base is awesome. Okay, let's move into the, let's see, I can see here. Okay, yeah, I don't know what metallic paints, let me just point it out, used here, but I feel like the silver highlight is way too big. Try to just do it. Oh, this is way too big. I have to make this smaller. Okay, so try to concentrate this highlight just on the very edge, at least half of what you did, and try to do it as small as possible, like there. And again, this actually looks like chipping, which is awesome, and that is something that you can try and do to, if you feel all your models are looking a bit rough and you want to add something that makes them 100% better really easily, is you take a sponge, a piece of a sponge. You take this dark brown, something like rhino's hide, and you dab it on the sponge, and then you use it like it would be you would do a dry brush. So you tap it on a piece of paper until there is not much paint coming off of the sponge, and then you just dab it in the corners. So for example, here, creating like mini random dots in the corners and so on. That will make this look really awesome if that's the look you are going for, which may help you improve the overall feel of the pieces. But again, for someone that is coming back to the hobbies since such a long time, and that is starting to get back into painting and into using brushes and so on, go slowly, learn the basic stuff first. So smoothness, cleanliness, and develop your brush control and your patience, and you will be there. I really like that. So we have here Danielle, and I know this is one of those pieces. Let me see. Yeah, that's awesome. This is one of those pieces because I've been talking to him about this for quite a while. This is one of those pieces that are, let's just say, a milestone in your painting. You know, that's kind of pieces that you go and look back and said, yeah, I really made a big improvement there. And I know this is one for him, and it's really nice. I really like how the purple blends with the blue here. I have to make this a bit bigger now. Yeah, I really like how it blends here. Yeah, with this blend is really nice with the edge highlight here. I really like the orange shoot contrasting with the purple and the blues. Again, fantastic blend here, really nice. This green OSL is awesome, and you can see he has done it really well because you can see OSL all around here, but it's not too intense, so that is the way to go. And also to see that his basing is just fantastic. That basing is amazing. He used pigments, you can see here, and he did it really well. So things to get better, of course, you already know this, but try to paint thinner lines, which is if you're going for the heavy metal style, like I kind of see here, they are all right, but the lines need to be thinner. So if you want to improve, that is my, and I know it's really hard. I really know it's really hard, but get a big brush and try to practice thin lines, very thin lines. It's really good and I really like it, but that is my main improvement would be that. Also, you have to be careful with your pigments because you have a bit of pigment there, which is not bad, but it kind of makes the head go a bit orange. But again, things that you did well, this is awesome. This is all kinds of awesome. That's fantastic. And all the blends from the purple into the blues are also really nice. Okay, see if I can have another view. Yeah, that is really good. Again, for example, on his toes here, you can see that the lines are a bit thick. You need to try to make those lines a bit thinner, tiny bit thinner. I know how hard it is. Also, you shaded or you painted orange over black, which makes you, I don't know, suicidal or a bit crazy. I don't know, but it looks awesome. But maybe the darks are a bit too dark for me personally. Same here. I may do on the red here, I may do another color in the middle of those two, because that is a bit stark, that transition there. But apart from that, again, fantastic piece. I mean, like, this is one of those pieces that you will remember for a long time, and I'm sure of that. Yeah. Also, very brave painting texture on that cloth. That is fantastic. And I can see some really nice highlights on the red there, which I really like. So really nice job. And we move into this happy little orc. This is by this is by Iambo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right. That's just your nickname. I'm really sorry if it's not. We have some super cool orc here, and I really see a lot of things that I really like. For example, this copper is fantastic with the verdigris effect. I really like that you painted all these swirly lines on the missiles, and the checker pattern here is actually fantastic. And here, I think the squig is just awesome with the eyes. You can see the light glint in his eyes. Fantastic job on the eyes. Fantastic job on the squid overall. Fantastic contrast. Really dark, really light, but not going overly into the pinks, so it doesn't look like pink, but it looks like a very dark red, and I think it's awesome. Again, freehand checker patterns, amazing. You can see that he did the white first, which he shaded and then highlighted, which is what you should do. And then he painted the checker patterns and then went back with the white and cleaned up all the inconsistent lines. That is the way to go if you're going to paint a checker pattern. Do it like iambo and do it the white first, the black second, and then go back with the white and clean it up. The only thing I would personally do is try to, if you want to take this a bit further, is try to do another layer so I can't see those marks there, which I can see a bit of the black showing through. But I mean, that is just nitpicking because it's fantastic. The only thing I do miss is some edge highlights on the black here to go along with the highlights on the white, because the white is highlighted and shaded, but the black is not, and kind of strikes to me, it kind of shows. Also, they are, what I generally see is you have an amazing contrast, really well done on the skin areas. I really like that, and on the squeak too. But there are other areas where I feel the contrast is a bit lacking. So, for example, his trousers here, this red here can be highlighted a bit more, especially on the edges. All around the edges, you can do a very tiny highlight, and the same here. You have highlights going from deep blacks, deep greens into very light greens, and here we go in. It's kind of lacking a bit of shading to go with the skin that is really contrasty. So this kind of a bit of yeah, I really get what you are trying to do, but that's what if I wanted to improve this, I will try to add a bit more contrast overall in the places that are not skin, because the skin is just amazing. I really like it. So yeah, that I can see from here. Again, for example, here on the leather here and in the trousers, but especially on the trousers, you have very good shading going on. That is awesome, but to me it lacks a bit more highlights. So you can actually highlight all these ridges a bit more. Maybe do a highlight here, do a highlight there. The edges here can pick a bit more highlights. Maybe if you just want the upper sides, you can do that. The trousers really need a bit more highlight. If you want to go volumetric, which is awesome, you should try to place more highlights on this part and maybe shade a bit. Use a bit of, you can thin down Abrax Earth Shade a bit and just glaze in some shadows into the underside. Some of the steels, for example, here could do with a bit more highlight. They are a bit flat. Not the black, for example. Black is awesome. And again, the skin is awesome. And now I can see this better. I really like this side. The other side felt up like a bit flat, but this side of the bandages looks awesome. I really like how you did this. It's really realistic. You can maybe add a bit more final highlight there, like there, just in the very tip, with the same texture that you're doing, which is fantastic. And again, the skin is amazing contrast on the skin. The only thing that strikes me is you are going for a, let's see when I can see it better. No, I think this is the place where I can see it better. Yeah, you are going for a kind of you are highlighting all the most raised surface, and your shading is on the lower parts of the mini. But if you want to try something that will improve your skin, you can see it here. The deepest parts of the sculpt are very dark, and the absolute peaks of each muscle are highlighted. If you want to just go back, let me just, there you go. If you want to try to improve this, try a more zenithal approach for the skin. It works really well. So what I mean is your highlight should be there, and your deepest shadow should be there. So it should go in that direction. This should be the shadow, this should be the highlight. Same here, your highlight should be in that place and your shadows should be there. that is just personal. This is a very classic heavy metal style from the noughties that I really like. So if you like it, keep doing it. But if you may want to try that, that could really work very well for you. But again, awesome piece, maybe needing some contrast here and there. Oh, I haven't realized this. Awesome checking pattern here. That is not easy. Same freehand, amazing freehand here and here. Look, for example, here the freehand it's shaded in the same direction in all the colors. That is the way to go. And same here, the black is highlighted as well as the white, which is awesome. Yeah, I can see, but for example here I'm not seeing the same highlights. Maybe it's the picture, could be. But yeah, that can work. Well, yeah, you can see another better view of the squiggy here. Only thing that strikes me, just like being like something to have in mind for the next minis, is I can see the seam from the mini there. I can see the two pieces of the scope there. So if you are when you glue that and you finish, you should try and smooth that out. And if it's really noticeable, like here, maybe take some bit of green stuff. You can put green stuff all around, and take one clay shaper. You can put a bit of green stuff there. Take a clay shaper and just smooth it out in this direction or in this direction, and it will blend everything better if it's a complicated seam like that one seems to be. But again, what can I say? He looks amazing. I just see it in full glory. There you go. Also pretty nice picture, by the way. It makes my life easier. So we are moving into John Shuttleworth. John Shuttleworth here is painting. These are amazing oldhammer minis. I really like them. Let's see, we have another picture of them. There, so awesome. Let me see. Please forgive me. Let me see if John has given me any instructions, which I cannot look in the in the screen right now. So let me see. But I think we can now look for this. Yeah, review. Okay. Oh yeah, there is a big wall of text. That's awesome. So greetings, Contrast Jedi Master. I'm a relative new supporter, but a long-time viewer. It's a unit of old Imperial Guard, like I was supposing. Just any run-of-the-mill Catachan or Cadian. Some old penal battalion troops from the 1990s. They are pewter. It's the first run using Ytari contrast paints on older metal minis, and this isn't my best work, and the metal canisters were some of the not some of the best quality, but I learned a lot. Perfect. Let me see, he's telling me about himself. Okay, so that's awesome. Yeah, he was hooked to heavy contrast, and he is applying my videos into these minis. So let's start with the first picture here. And first of all, fantastic application of the contrast paints. You can see that we have perfect contrast, good highlights, good shading. The skin tones work really well, because all contrast skin tones work really well. I really like the pants. Fantastic contrast, really nice dark, really nice highlights there. Commissar is also looking amazing. This you need to have in mind that this old metal minis are not the nicest to paint, and these don't look to be the best quality sculpts ever made by GW, so we need to really think about that too. But again, really good effort. I can see some, again, I really like this black gray armor. I really like the pants. The only thing I don't really like, but this is just a personal choice, is the color of the base rim, which is not saying much, but I prefer black rims personally. I think yellow. My main issue is my eyes is drawn out into those yellow bases and not on the models. So it's really robbing me attention from the models, and that is the only thing I don't like. I really like this blue OSL effect there. That's awesome. And again, it's a basic tabletop paint job, but really well executed. Well, very good application of the contrast paints. I don't see any bad pullings at all. I see very good contrast. I see very good definition of the different colors. Not any bleeding, not any splotches anywhere. Fantastic job. What I would do personally is, if you can, take a bit of Agrax Eftershade and put that over these sand parts, because the white dry brush is robbing me too much attention. It's like too stark. So if you put just a wash of Agrax Eftershade over all that, it will tone it down, and I think it will look really, really, really well. And again, please consider changing the base rim color to something that is not that eye-catching, because the yellow really stands out. But again, that is fantastic for tabletop paint job. That is amazing. Ways to improve? Yes, of course. You can always add more highlights. If you take a light gray, you can pick up these folds here, just the upper sides. Same can be said for almost everything. But again, fantastic job. What I will probably take a bit more time is on the commissar here. You can try to do some weathered leather effect on the underside of his cloak here. That can be really cool. Maybe pick some highlights here, he being one of the main characters of the unit. I think some highlights there could be a good touch. But all in all, fantastic job. Some very old and challenging minis, I'm really sure of that. And we move into this one. This one is from one brush stroke better. A very good painter and a very nice guy. Go check him out on Instagram if you can. I think the name is the same. He really serves more followers. These pictures can be better, but you already know that. But apart from that, couple things I really like. This is all kinds of yes. I'm really big fan of that. The skin is fantastic. The red scar is awesome. The lip is the right color. The freehand on the parchment is fantastic. The highlights here are fantastic. The highlights on the red, I know they are fantastic, but they are a bit hard to see there. But I have seen them in better pictures and they are fantastic. So I really love this old Inquisition models from Warhammer 40k. So I may be a bit biased, but again, fantastic job. The yellow is shaded there. It's very uniform in all the panels. I really like that. Maybe add a bit more shading into the red. These minis could benefit from a bit more shading there, maybe there. I know that you already have quite some, and I know this picture is not bringing the best of your abilities out, but then again, I think that is a good place. Also, talking about mold lines, again, bane of our existence as wargamers, there is one there. But apart from that, maybe, I don't know, I think overall looks really good. Again, for me, the skin is the real highlight here. The skin and the purity seal, I think this is fantastic. and the skin is awesome. This really looks like a real wound, and I really dig that. What you could do is glaze a bit with Coelia green shade over here to make him look like he's shaved, and if you want you can prolong that into his face, but that is not necessary. But I would really do a glaze over his head. I think that would be an awesome touch, if you want that, of course. You can also add a bit of verdigris here. I think a bit of green will really help this whole balance of the model. And again, and also the base is a bit lacking. Maybe a wash with Agrax over all that would be a good idea. But again, I'm not a baser anyway, so I don't really give much of thought about that. Okay, yeah, awesome. I don't know what to say. I wish I could have this live here with me so I could watch it better, and I really wish I could get a better picture, but we all know that for the time being it's not possible, because I think this is better than what is showing there. And we move into Samwell, an ANMM Stormcast. So Samwell is being brave here, and that is awesome. I really like brave people, because when you paint bravely you will improve. That is the way to get better. The way to get better is try to be better, and he is really trying to be better here, and he's doing real fine job. So he has used my NMM videos, gold and silver, I see there, and again looking amazing. So a couple of things I see from now on. I really like the overall look. The overall look is really good. The NMM effect, it's there, but maybe the gold needs a bit more contrast, but not where you have put it. For example, here you have your big shadows there, but your shadow should go there. That all should be dark. And same here, we should have deep shadows there and all around our features. Same probably from there and there. Bit darker. You need to go into Rhinox hide there. Same here and here. So all in all, just a bit more shading. For example, here on the legs, I think that it may be the matte effect, but I see places where you are doing the right job. For example, here, this goes dark. You can try and make your shadows larger. So maybe the shadows take like this. That could work. Also here needs to go into pure Rhinox hide down there. I know it's hard. I really know it's hard, and please don't think that I don't think you made a good effort, because you really did a good effort. But we are trying to get things to improve here. Also, I really think there should be a better, more definition here between those two. So maybe take something like Dark Reaper or something, or maybe Rhinox hide, and just draw a line there for the next time maybe. But again, extremely brave effort, and I really like it. One thing that is bugging me a bit is, for example, you have made these reflections here like that. I don't think those work well. I don't think that is the way to. I wouldn't do them. Maybe what I would do personally is, I don't mind this white dot here, but maybe do the white line, get rid of these lines there, and I think that could be enough. Yeah, I don't really like those lines there. Kind of strike me as a bit odd. What you could do is maybe your white line should be there, just next to this surface, and if you're going to do them, try to do them parallel to these triangles there. I think that is a good option. Let me see if I have more angles. Yes, we have more angles. Awesome. Okay, I see a lot of good stuff here. The blending here is really nice. We are again lacking a bit of contrast around definition around these details, kind of a bit lost in between everything that is happening there. Next time try to base coat them with a darker color to start with, and then do a lighter color over that. Or if when you are shading this, take this really deep blue and paint those with that before doing the white over them. Same here, as we talked. It's not that the white doesn't have definition, it has. Is that you have a bit of gray there. So maybe be careful with that. And again, we have some mid-tones here, but it's lacking the deeper shadows. So don't be afraid to go darker. Just leave these mid-tones are right, but you can push those mid-tones more into there and push more shadows in the places you have shadows, basically. So it's just a matter of keep working on your overall contrast, because the technique, you are doing it really well. I see very good blending there. It's just we just need more of it, and I know how hard it is, so you're doing a fantastic job. Also, something that I forgot to take account, because I can see them and I'm now just seeing it, is the base is awesome. Look at that. We have he's casting some kind of spell, and you can see the earth flinging outwards from him, even like a little speckle there with a tiny hair or some kind of awesome. I really like that. That is fantastic. That base there, 10 out of 10. We can really see a close-up here, and we all know close-ups are not nice for anyone, but they are really good place to show things that can be worked on. Again, this should be darker. All this should be Rhinox hide, deeper shadows. You need to work on defining your elements better. And the eyes, his face, I don't know if it's a bit of a thick base coat, but it's kind of lacking a bit of detail. So if you are base coating with a brush, if you are base coating with a brush, take care there and be careful. Also, maybe this is a work in progress picture, but this is not painted or doesn't look like painted. There's here a bit of gray plastic, so have that in mind. I really like this stuff. This stuff here is fantastic. And for the eyes, they are a bit too big. His eyes should be maybe like that. So I think the thick base coat is not letting you see all the details well. But apart from the size being a bit bigger, you have done the pupil, you have done the light reflection, which is amazing, and you are being brave. And I really like that. You are doing all the right things. You are doing all the steps into becoming better and pushing yourself if you're way to do that. Next time when you're doing the eye, I said that in a previous review, try to paint the eye itself dark first, and then go and do it. And then go and paint it lighter. So paint it with a darker brown first, something like Rhinox hide works really well. Dry out the bark, any dark brown, and then paint the white, leaving a bit of the dark showing, and it will work fantastic. But all in all, amazing effort, super brave, and I really like to see this kind of inspiring things, because I can really see a very good painter developing there, and that is awesome. Okay, next one, we have this amazing piece by Mitch, the Terrainosaur. If you don't know Mitch is an amazing YouTube personality. He has a channel, you can check the link in the description below. He's also a supporter of my channel, and I really appreciate that. So we have a Slambo here, painted in a really striking way, and you can see that it has a lot of work. I really like this sketchy style, this very original way of doing the armor. That's fantastic. I really like all the fire effects sculpted on the blades and on the terrain. That is great. And overall, this is something to be proud of. Also, we need to consider personal circumstances, as we have done with others. And Mitch has Parkinson's. He has to deal with that every when he is painting, and that is not easy. That is something that I think is really hard. Has a video on how to paint with tremors that you should really check if you're having trouble with your hand shaking. Go watch that video. That will solve everything for you. And things that I think can be improved. The metallic work here is absolutely great. I really like that. Maybe take this lighter silver here color and do a dot there, as well as an edge highlight there, and do a bit on the upper side of this dots here. I really like the blending there. It's a really good job. If you don't want to do lines, you don't need to paint lines on your horns if you don't like it. That is a very good example. And the axes are again fantastic, absolutely stunning. Maybe this line here is a bit too thick, so try and make it thinner lines. I know how hard it is for you, so I really appreciate the amazing effort you did with this piece. Let's move into another view. We have 4 views for this. Here we can see the line patterns that he has drawn by freehanding on the armor. This kind of way of, this is a fantastic way of doing blends with a lot of personality, and I think it really works really well. Of course, the way to improve this is the same way as to improve anything that has a texture, and this is thinner lines. But what can I say? You already know that, and that is not really very useful. The leather, I think, needs a bit more contrast. Maybe take a really bright gray, something like Ulfuan gray, and do dots. You can do a dot there. You can do a dot there. You know, usual stuff. That will bring that leather up really well. What you can also do, if you want to play with the OSL of the base, is also do a bit of OSL here of the green and the underside of the boot, or around here, maybe a bit here, a bit here, a bit here. You know, teeny tiny touches of green. I think that could be a really good touch. And one thing that I really think that at least that strikes me is that you have highlights everywhere, but you haven't highlighted your terrain, your cracked effect. I know it's not easy, but maybe very thin dry brush would just to pick up these edges here could really help integrate them more with the paint job. But that is my personal opinion, of course. Okay, we can see here amazing zigzag pattern on the highlight, really original way of highlighting the mini. I think it works really well. And again, as I said, maybe here you can do a bit more of the mid-tones over this to blend it more, but it's just a matter of doing thinner and thinner lines, which not everyone can do. And I think that is fantastic work. And we can see a close-up here, and we can see he even painted his eyes down there. So yeah, quite amazing. Again, maybe I'm lacking a highlight there, and there. Just that. But I really like this. This is great. Fantastic. Good job, Mitch. And we are going into the last one. This is Fitzlock, and he is painting a whole army of high elves to this standard because he is as mad as I am, and he is doing a fantastic job with them. He has chosen his colors to be white and this kind of faded green, which I think is beautiful. He has used my TMM sword tutorial and applied it to every one of his weapons, and look how stunning it looks. I can still remember the first blade that he painted using it, and it wasn't this good, and he has become such good with this technique. You can see how smooth the blends are and how beautifully selected all the surfaces are for the highlights. It's a really, really good job. Fantastic job on the metallics overall. The faces are really good. The green is really good, and the white, I really like it. Maybe with he's worried that it doesn't have enough contrast, and I'm not sure I'm worried about that. I quite like it. Maybe he's gone from the neutral gray, and I'm not sure if I would prefer a colder gray, a colder white, instead of a neutral one. I don't know. It's hard to tell because again I really like this. Let me see, I have another one. Yeah. So yeah, this is a problem because I've had this issue with metal models. This is a problem with metal models. They just sometimes crack. I have this with some of my old high elves too. I know the pain. Sometimes you don't realize it's there until you are painting it. Maybe run a bit. If you don't want that there, you can take maybe not just for him, but for anyone that has this issue, you can take maybe a bit of gloss varnish and just put your gloss varnish over this crack, maybe a couple of coats, and then paint over with your grays, and I think that will camouflage it. Again, metal models are horrible to work with. I really don't like them. We have a mold line there. We are looking for mold lines there today. The green, I really like the work on the green, and the blonde hair is fantastic. It's a good blonde hair. You can maybe try to increase the contrast, the highlights there and there. Go a bit higher on the highlights on those 2 points. I maybe just, but you know how I am, how I always strive for more contrast. You could do a bit more, one more highlight on the greens there. That's what I would do personally. Just take it another step. I don't know which color you use, but whatever color you use last, put a bit of white and just do one more highlight. Also, you don't have highlights. You need highlights there with the same silver highlights we have here. But that's the only things I can feel. When you're painting this kind of a scale plate mail or whatever it's called, it's sometimes hard to get contrast, especially in this hand sculpted models. So you can try and pick a very dark color, something like, I know, Sigurd brown, or maybe wildwood, and draw a line there and draw this freehand and just drop it there. It's really hard, but it's the only thing I can think of to increase the contrast there. But for example, here on the front, it's quite good. He has gone and highlighted each of these scales by hand, and I approve of that. That is my kind of madness. So yeah, a really good job. And speaking about color contrast, I think it looks good. Don't overthink it. Oh, you missed a bit of green there. And if you are doing gold, this gold piece, let me go back to the original picture. So if you're doing a gold piece and you have a bezel, don't do the bezel gold, do it in silver, and that will increase the overall feel of the contrast. Same here. it will add a bit more of color variation. Use this called silver called steel, and it will help a lot. For example, here you don't need it because that is red over green. It works really well, but gold over gold, I just prefer to add a bit of contrast. Same here, you could try and paint this gold too, if you feel like it. Yeah, but overall, I'm really liking this army. I just wish he had shared one of the amazing group shots of one of his units, because it's absolutely amazing. You can see here the sheer number of minis he is painting at this level, and this is just one of the units. It's actually very impressive. This is one of those armies that I would feel proud of. Oh, just one thing, you haven't seen it, put a bit of shade in there. But yeah, fantastic job. I really like how he's picked. Of this unit, you may not be able to see it, but if you look for him on Instagram, I'm sure if he's watching, he will put the link. He has shared the picture of the banner bearer of this unit, and it's absolutely stunning. But yeah, fantastic job. And overall, great job to everyone that shared a picture. I'm really proud of you all, and I'm not joking here. You have all done an amazing job. Oops. Let's see, yes, one. So just to go back into the mini submitted. Awesome. And awesome. Look at that. Isn't he imposing? He really wants whatever is in front of him killed. So, let's just go back to the live feed. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's a new experience for me. So please be patient if you have seen me a bit wishy-washy, a bit not knowing what I do really well, because honestly I have no idea what I'm doing right now. And yeah, let me see, have a look through the chat if people what people are saying, and then I can go and, I don't know, spend a bit of time with my family. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Okay, so let me stay there, I think. Yeah, Welder art is outlining in highlights will be easier if he will make brush strokes adding on the edges. Yes, if you end your brush strokes on the edges, it will make it easier. But yeah, again, as he again said, white is a very hard color to paint, and he is right. White, he's talking about the Carlos piece. Oh, here's my wife. Look at that. Christine, this is my wife saying that she likes my crown. Everyone says 20 years of a wash, but overall he made a good job, and I agree. Yeah, I think that it's awesome. People having a great time on the chat. Yeah, fantastic. Hey, Mark commenting about his elf, his high elf. He couldn't find it in resin. I actually prefer. You can fight me in the comments if you want, but I actually prefer fine cast to metal, and I'm not joking. It's much better, so much better. Metal is horrible to work with and just a pain in the ass. Okay, this was fun and educational. Thank you, Terrainosaur. Awesome. Fun stream. Thank you. Yeah. And yeah, iambo did that orc, and it's amazing. Yes. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll catch you next month. And if you want your minis reviewed, join my Patreon on channel members and submit one. Again, Men-at-Arms tiers or above. Submit your minis, and in the start of the next month, I will see you again. Catch you in the next one. Bye.